And there we go. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. We are so grateful that you are here. We're going to be talking about jobs hiring now during the pandemic. We are student employment services, and other than working with students who are working on campus, we also work with all students who are currently looking for jobs. And so we want to make sure you all know that we are here for you and we're here to assist you. And we know that things can seem a little bleak right now, but there is hope and there are opportunities that exist. Josue, I want to say thank you also for empathizing with me. And Daniel also for empathizing with the Wi-Fi and the kiddos. So I really appreciate that.
Awesome. So as Genesis said, and thank you to those that just popped in. My name is Victor Brown. Me and Genesis are both with the Student Employment Services Department. That department is located within the Cesar Chavez building on the second floor, right up at the top when you go up the stairs, right on the left. That's where we usually are. Today, we are working from home, working remotely, doing this webinar. I work with Student Employment Services as specialist, mainly connecting students to jobs. So when students are looking for either part-time, full-time jobs in their field, jobs out their field, I work to connect students with employment and with jobs.
And I'm Genesis. My role at the college is internship job developer. I'm always working with students to help find opportunities for them, get them ready with their resume, cover letters, interviewing, particularly around internships and getting experience before they graduate. And with this pandemic, right, we shift focus a little bit and recognize that, not everybody's looking for internships right now. And so I'm happy to be here with you and to share how it is that Victor and I can be of some service to you all. The only other thing I want to share with you in these brief introductions is that most of you know, because most of you found us, right, via social media. But if you follow us, we are at SWC SES on Instagram and SWC_SES on Twitter. And so please follow us. We are frequently posting who's hiring, advice and tips for your job search on those channels, and share us with your fellow classmates, because we definitely want to be as much help to you and all of your classmates as possible.
Definitely. So one question we would like to ask, and we want to ask if you can go ahead and drop your responses in the chat. You can go ahead and click the bottom where it says chat and just share your answers with us. How has COVID-19 pandemic affected your job search? So how is everything that's going on at this time, how has it affected your job search? If you can just go ahead and type your responses and answers in the chat. Thank you so much. This is going to be a very interactive webinar. Me and Genesis we're going to be talking, but we definitely want to hear your responses, your feedback, and really see your answers so that we can also cater this webinar to make sure that we address your concerns and questions as well. So go ahead and drop in the chat. How has this COVID-19, how this pandemic affected your job search? Has it made it easy? Has it made it harder? Has it brought to you questions where you're like, I'm not exactly sure what to do? Thank you, Josue, for sharing. Limiting amount of jobs in the market. Thank you. More people are becoming unemployed at this time. Is very true as well. Go ahead, and I know people are typing. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel, as well. Limiting jobs around when you're area proficiency. Thank you.
Oh, that
yes,
stinks.
awesome.
Being hired and then being let go the facility closing the next day.
Yeah. And as some I said earlier, some people have no longer employed with their employers. That came in the chat earlier as well. Thank you so much for sharing. We're going to talk about some opportunities coming up throughout this. And thank you again for continuing to answer the questions. We're definitely reviewing. For today, the main topics that we're going to be covering are, we're going to cover the situation, what's going on in the employment industry, the highs, the lows. We're going to talk about strategies, things you can do to better prepare yourself to get employment. We're going to talk about the companies of who's hiring, and then we're going to simply address questions and comments or concerns that you have as well. All right.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
It's okay, no
So,
problem.
don't, Victor, feel free to let me know I'm muted.
Okay.
I know that you all are here to find out about how to get a job in this pandemic. And it's clear that this pandemic is affecting us in some super obvious ways, right? Where we're not allowed on campus. We're all working at home right now with our families instead of being on campus, but also in ways that we might not even know about. The reality is, as much of you said in the chat, is that our current situation is extremely stressful. It definitely is taking an emotional toll. And yes, we have to figure out how to survive and how we're going to pay the bills. But in these times especially, and I'm saying this to you all, but I'm also saying this to myself, I want you to remember that your health, your safety, and your well-being is of utmost importance. It's very easy for us to want to spend every waking second applying for jobs. But if we are burning ourselves out, you are definitely not putting your best foot forward in your resumes and in your interviews. And I think the best analogy that I can use here is the safety announcements that are given when you're on an airplane before we take off. The flight attendants tell us that if we get some turbulence, you may get some masks that fall down, but make sure you put your mask on before you help others. And so I want to make sure to stress to you to take care of yourself so that you can be effective in your pursuits, so you can be effective in your job search, and that you can be effective in providing for everyone around you who needs the help. So yes, in this pandemic, this is a good time for us to retool, maybe to learn new skills and to apply for jobs, but don't set your expectations so high that you're stressing yourself out. I want you to acknowledge that you can only do the best you can. And what your best looks like today might look different than your best tomorrow, okay? And I want you to know that whatever you're doing is enough. So before we dive into the meat and potatoes of our presentation today, I want to know, how have you been taking care of yourself? It's really important to all of us that you are taking care of yourself. So feel free to put that in the chat, you know, amidst all of this mayhem, right, around these bizarre times. What are you doing right now to make sure that you're taking care of yourself?
Oh, that's important. Taking
Yep, take those vitamins. That's right. Good.
Being at home.
Stay at home. Good. Good, good, good. Keep them coming. Wash hands frequently. Eat properly. Good. Lots of sleep. Good, Alexica. Oh, gardening's great, Josue. I love gardening. You can totally lose yourself in it and everything else goes out the window. So that's really nice. Healthy food. Make sure you make time for relaxation. Great. I love it. Keep them coming, guys.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the situation that's going on. Many of you already know a lot of businesses, just like people, are being affected. Stocks are falling. For those of you who may not know too much about stocks, so companies basically, they allow individuals and the public to share a portion of their company, a way that they can make revenue. And when stocks fall, companies lose money. So stocks are falling. Hospitality, tourism, and travel industry has really been hit hard. Here in San Diego, we are a major tourist and major hospitality city. And a lot of jobs have been lost, and a lot of jobs are deciding, even as someone mentioned in the chat, thank you for sharing, a lot of companies are deciding not necessarily to hire in some of those fields as well. Restaurants without delivery are really suffering. those high-end, expensive restaurants that don't have delivery are really suffering as well. And companies are cutting positions, as some of us have experienced, and investing less because they're not really sure about what's going to happen in the future. They're not sure how long it's going to last, if they're going to be able to hire in the future, where money's going to have to be shifted in the company. And there's just major uncertainty for the future in knowing when all this is going to end. While some companies are actually hurting and scaling back, other companies are thriving. We're going to talk about some of those as well. Some companies are thriving, of course, Netflix, because a lot of us are at home, so their subscriptions are going up. Zoom subscriptions, so we're on Zoom. We probably wouldn't be on Zoom right now this second if it wasn't for the pandemic. There's a lot of canned and jarred goods, things that are non-perishable. Those companies are starting to grow. Game makers and sellers. What's funny is one of the beliefs or one of the sayings about the video game industry and game industries, it's almost recession proof in a sense, because their stocks and they continue to grow even during hard times. Cleaning services are in high demand at this time. Businesses that are staying open really need cleaning services. Not so much in San Diego, we may not see this because we've only got about maybe 2 or 3 in the entire county, but drive-in movie theaters on the east and the south are just booming right now. People still want to go to the movies, but they're going in their cars. Delivery services, of course, as we've seen, Amazon is really growing. Delivery with Uber Eats and other companies that do delivery is really picking up the pace. For example, post office, UPS, grocery and pharmacy, because they have to be open. They're required essential services. So they're open, and even restaurants that sell things. I saw a few weeks ago, Starbucks, their company said, we don't feel like we're essential service, but we've been asked to stay open. So even companies that do food and grocery, and of course, large chain stores, Home Depot, Walmart, they are still open. We see lines lined up for them. So they're still open and they're growing even more at this time. So
go ahead, Vic.
Nope, that's not mine. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all good. So now that we've talked a little bit about our situation, where things stand in terms of the larger global economy, we want to really equip you with some strategies to help you be successful in your search. And really, when it comes to being successful in your search, it really requires a good game plan, understanding exactly what's out there, but what are the steps that I can be doing now that might help me in being successful in this search. And so with that, I really want to hear from you now in terms of what you've already been doing. I saw some of this already in the chat, but feel free to use it again. Let me know, how are you currently looking for work? What are the resources and tools that you're utilizing in your search? So we got some messages, some private messages. Some folks are using LinkedIn, Indeed, good. Career Builder, Facebook.
Wow, Flex Jobs and Upwork.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Even in Puente, you had someone show us LinkedIn. Good.
That's good.
Lots of websites and online resources. Okay.
Excellent.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Give me just a second here, guys. My computer is lagging. It's a good time to turn off my phone also. I think it's really important to note that attitude is everything when it comes to your search. You might not know it, but if you're going into this situation feeling helpless and hopeless, you're going to attract that sort of energy. There's a quote out there that says, I saw it online and it was just remarkable because I felt kismet, because it was exactly what I was looking for. It said that self-doubt kills more dreams than failure. And so before we dive into some tangible resources for your job search, I want to address the importance of a positive and healthy attitude.
And before you go there, Genesis,
Yeah.
could you just repeat it? We missed the entire line.
Oh, which line? The quote?
The quote, yeah.
Oh,
So
my
sorry.
bad. Oh, man. That's okay. The quote is, self-doubt kills more dreams than failures.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
And
yeah.
so that's it. What attitude you bring to your job search is really everything. So I want you to keep in mind these three things. You're awesome. You are smart, and you might be saying, like, she don't know me. I know you're smart because you made the conscious choice to spend some time today here with us to tackle your job search. And so that in itself alone tells me that you are smart. And you are overwhelmingly deserving of a wonderful pandemic resistant position. Okay. I know that job searching, even outside of a pandemic, can be a daunting task. So whether or not you've been at this job search for just a few weeks or you're going on a few years, it's really easy to feel discouraged. And so there's some ways that I want to help you in countering self-doubt and make effective strides in your job search. One is to keep an eye on your health and de-stress. And we talked a lot about that earlier on in today's conversation. So I don't want to spend a lot of time there, but just be proactive. Monitor the quality of sleep that you're getting, your diet, your exercise, and just be kind to yourself. It really is not easy to try to put your best foot forward day in and day out. And so be gentle with yourself and be mindful of your energy and stress. I'm saying that to myself. Victor has been, my body biologically will tell me you need to go home and rest. And I've been guilty of it too. Victor has been one to tell me, hey, Jen, you need to go home. So
Mhm.
um, I know, but be mindful, okay? Take care of yourselves. And I also want you to remember that your job search, there's more to life than just this job search. Okay, your job search should be on the front burner when you're in a transition, but your life is not your job search, and your job search should not consume your life. As much as possible, try to keep a daily routine that suits your lifestyle. When I was unemployed, I recognized that I am a morning person. So I still got up like I would normally. I would get ready. I would go for a quick walk, have a nice breakfast, and then sit down and tackle my day applying for jobs. Okay. And the last piece is to really remain flexible. I want you to keep in mind that new opportunities, be open to new opportunities that you might not have considered previously. We're in the midst of some unprecedented times. You might not land your dream job right now, this moment. Your next role might not be your forever role, and that's okay. And that really brings us to our next point, which is considering short-term options.
Yeah, so definitely. Everyone at this time, as some of you mentioned, some of you are working, some of you are not working at this time. Everyone has a different place where they may be at in terms of job search and in terms of needing to work and the immediacy. What we would like to encourage you to do is look at your short term, and your long-term goals. Short-term goals, what you're looking to do within the next 3 months to a year, and then your long-term, next a year to 3 years out. As Jess mentioned, we are in some crazy times. Right now, there's a lot of people who are unemployed, who are filing for unemployment, a lot of people whose jobs are threatened or may have even lost their jobs. And our bills continue to go. Bills don't stop because of the pandemic. So some of us some of us need jobs more sooner than others. Some of us may be able to last a little bit longer, but I want to encourage you just to look at yourself. Think about where you're at financially, what you need to do. And when you're looking at this, continue to, even as Genesis said, continue to keep your long-term goals in mind for employment. But if you're looking at your situation and you're like, I need to kind of work right now, definitely recognize that even if you do take a job in the short term, again, this won't be your forever job. This pandemic won't last forever. Times will get better. So don't pass up the opportunity to make income that you feel that you need to make because you're focused only on taking your dream job at this time. So we really want to encourage you. Again, this situation won't last forever, and don't feel bad if you do need to work in an area that's outside of the direct field that you want or the direct career that you want because of the times that are going on. There are people with PhDs, there are business owners, there are all types of individuals who are taking jobs outside of their field to make ends meet. And also, even if you do decide to do that, that's additional skills as well as work that you can put on your resume as well. So with that being said, we just want you to just drop in the chat, and you might have to think about this. What's your short-term goal? What is your short-term goal at this time? And what are some of your long-term goals? When thinking about jobs and employment, what are some of the short-term goals? And what are your long-term goals? So you might even be thinking, you know what? There's a job that I actually wouldn't mind working right now in the short term. And even though my long-term goal, I want to be in this field. Thank you so much, Josue. Perfect example of short-term goal, having a seasonal job at this time. There are lots of seasonal jobs hiring. Thank you. So go ahead and just drop what are some of your short-term goals, some of your long-term goals. Part-time teaching job. That's awesome. There's some teaching jobs online as well. Thank you. Temp jobs for now. That's awesome. And then doing international logistics later. Thank you, Mauricio. Online for a short time. That's good. Administrative jobs online. That's good. Administrative job part-time. That's really good as well. Engineer later.
It looks like you guys get it. You guys get it that right now, you know, that while we might have these really big dreams right now, we might be shifting our focus to something that's more short term, something, and might be open to much more possibilities.
Excellent. Thank you again for your comments. Continue to share them. All right. So during this time, while you're searching and while you're looking, this is an excellent opportunity while you're home as well to start working on marketing your best self. As Genesis said, taking care of yourself is extremely important, and marketing yourself the best way that you can is important as well. So working on your resume, making sure that your resume doesn't contain any errors. If you've never made a resume before and you'd like some assistance, again, you can reach out to me and Genesis. As well, we do resume assistance, interview skill assistance as well, especially if maybe you have a virtual interview, you're not necessarily sure how to do that. We can do a test run with you. But clean up your resume if you need to create one. That's good, relevant. Also making sure that you tailor your resume to the position that you're applying for. For example, if I'm applying for a cashier job at a local grocery store, and I have experience as what I am at right now, a job placement or a job employment specialist, I'm going to look at the things that I've done in my past history and look at the skills that I've done in the past that are related to the position I'm applying for. So I'm not necessarily going to use a general resume that I send to every job. I'm going to make sure that I tailor my job and showing the skills that I've done in the past that directly relate to the position that I'm going for. And if you need some more clarification or understanding on that, we can even work with you and give you some examples. But basically looking at the skills that you've done in the past and making sure that you show those skills that relate to the position you're applying for. For example, as I said, a grocery store, if I'm applying for a cashier and I've worked as a job employment specialist, I've worked with the public. I've given presentations to show that I know how to speak to those in the public. I worked on deadlines. Maybe I've had to do some cashiering as well. And also taking the time to get your resume reviewed by somebody that's outside of yourself, especially somebody like me or Genesis who's in the student employment specialist department or the career center. For a cover letter, making a cover letter this time, if you've never made a cover letter or not sure what a cover letter is, a cover letter is basically a document that goes with your resume that says, shows that how you are qualified for the actual position that you're looking for. It gives you a little bit more explanation that you're allowed to share. Making sure that that cover letter has proper spelling and grammar, that again, it's tailored to the job you're applying for. And if you need help with that, we can help as well. And of course, I really stress this, Genesis knows, making sure your social media is clean and presentable for employers. Now, employers do have ways of looking up students and looking up individuals to see if they represent the company well. I used to work in the past for an organization called the San Diego Workforce Partnership. And I would connect students between the ages of 16 and 24 to employment. And there were many times that we connect students with awesome jobs in engineering and in various fields. And after they had their interview, the employer would call us and say, you know, we're sorry, but we can't take this student. Their social media does not reflect the values of the company. So it's really important that, you know, don't post any partying pictures. Remember, everything you post online is actually a legal document now. It can be used against you in court. It can be brought up in the past. And even when you click delete, those things still stay on there from some time as well and can be searched. So be aware of what you post. Make sure that you're looking good and presentable. And also be aware of the groups you join. And you can even join groups that are related to the fields and the jobs that you want to get into as well. Make sure you follow up on your applications, especially if you are applying for local jobs. After you submit that application online or however you submit it, go ahead and call the company and ask to speak with the hiring manager and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, I applied for this position. I was wondering when I can get an interview. I can't tell you how many students have gotten jobs simply because they made that connection with the hiring manager. For example, apply the Target position. Target gets hundreds of resumes a day, but they don't get a lot of people that are calling in to make that direct connection. You've just made it easier for the hiring manager to hire somebody that they think is going to complete and really wants the job as well. So practice your virtual interviews too, and we are here to help.
One thing that I'd add here, one thing that I would like to add here is just that over the next 5 weeks, Victor and I are hosting webinars every Tuesday around these topics like resume, interviewing, how to clean up your social media, how to set up your LinkedIn. So every Tuesday for the next 5 weeks, you can reach out to us. Just make sure you're following us on social media and you'll know exactly when and where to find us. And Josue, we have, thank you, Victor.
No problem. It's coming up. It's coming up.
Coming up. So in this, when it comes to job searching, I think it's really important that you utilize your network. I know networking gets a bad rap, right? Networking gets a bad rap because people tend to think it's mixers and handing out business cards and schmoozing and yes, that is a part of networking, but that's when networking is done badly. Really, networking is about developing and building and maintaining mutually beneficial relationships. So you're not looking to just get something from someone like, hey, you got a job for me? But it's more about building a relationship with a person so down the line they'll want to help you out. And so when I hear students who say, like, I don't like networking, it's often because they don't know where to start. And so here what we've put in front of you are some examples of folks who are already in your network. Okay.
And can I pause right there?
Sure.
I'm so sorry. So one of the things, networking, this is really important. And one of the reasons why we didn't just give the list really quick up front is there's a saying that if you give a man a fish, they eat for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, they'll eat the rest of their lives. So right now we're making sure that we give you the tools so that you just don't need a one-day list, that you'll continue to thrive and go forward. And utilizing your network, I cannot talk about how important this is. This will help you to be able to get jobs for the rest of your life. This
Right.
tool that Genesis is about to talk about has literally gotten me every single job that I've had, and jobs that I didn't even have to apply for, and jobs I didn't even know were available. And companies created jobs for me simply because of this tool that Genesis is about to talk about. Sorry, Jane, go ahead.
That's okay. Victor definitely drives it home. I think that there is a statistic that's out there that says that 80% of jobs are never advertised. 80% of jobs that are filled are never advertised. And so how are those jobs filled, right? They're filled with people who are referrals and with people who are networking. And what that means is that for those of you who are applying for jobs by applying online only, right? That means that you are putting 100% of your effort in only 20% of the jobs that exist. And so that's why we stress networking, because it gives you access to a hidden job market and connections to decision makers. And so here's a great place to start. Many companies are indeed still hiring, and you might not know who is a part of those organizations. For me, I'll share this really quick example because I went to the Philippines a few years ago with my mom, and I don't speak Tagalog, but which is the language of the Philippines, but I understand it, and so a lot of her friends and our relatives over there would ask, "What does Genesis do for a living?" And her response was, "She's a teacher." And yes, I work in education, but I'm not a teacher. And that just meant for me that I've not done a good enough job about sharing what I do professionally or what I'm passionate about with my mom. And that's a whole other network, her network, that I haven't tapped into because I'm not sharing that information with her. And so can't drive home this point enough how important utilizing your network is. All right. So with that, Vic, and for the sake of time, I want to just remind us, we've got about 20 minutes left, so let's kind of power through. Yeah?
Definitely.
All right. So here, we're going to really dive into our resources. We're going to talk about who's hiring now, and we're going to also talk about remote work resources as well. So here we go. This is really the meat and potatoes of you all are probably here for.
All right. So these are a list of companies that are hiring. I looked up just this morning on some social media sites as well as some company sites. All these companies are hiring at this time. Food service options. So Aldi, if you live in the Chula Vista area, Ralph's, they're everywhere. Food for Less grocery stores are hiring. Whole Foods, they're hiring not just people in the stores, but also delivery. They're connected to Amazon. There's people who order online and they need people to pack it and bring it to their cars as well. Sprouts is, again, another grocery store that's hiring. Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's, they are hiring. If you've been watching television, they're asking for people to work because they're hiring as well. Because not only do they need delivery, but they also need people inside their stores making the products, and Albertsons as well. So look around what type of food service places are in your area and make sure you go ahead and apply. And when you apply, call and ask to speak with the hiring manager and ask when you can expect the interview.
Shipping and delivery services are huge right now too. As Victor said, Amazon's hiring 100,000 workers in fulfillment centers and in delivery services, and they're temporarily raising their pay by $2 an hour more. So, that makes them $15 an hour. So please consider Amazon. UPS and FedEx are also hiring. And I think about meal and grocery delivery services and apps like Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. They're also hiring. Instacart alone is adding 300,000 gig workers over the next 3 months.
And also, just to add, with these companies, also they're adding in provisions to keep their workers healthy as well. Even as you saw at the
Great
Amazon, they're
point.
doing the temperature, they're giving gloves and masks and different things. So I would encourage you not to be afraid. These companies are doing everything they can as well to keep their workers safe. So retail stores, Home Depot, Sam's Club, Big Lots, Target, Walmart, they're all open. Lowe's as well. They want to add on additional 30,000 workers soon as well. Your local 7-Eleven, CVS, and Walgreens, they're hiring as well. And you might get some extra benefits when you work for these companies in a sense, because you'll know when certain things are in stock. All the things that we're trying to get. But they're hiring. 99-cent stores, Dollar Tree, they're hiring. They're all hiring, and they're all local and in a lot of our communities as well.
And clearly one of the most impacted, right, and thriving in the midst of this pandemic is healthcare. And thus, they continue to need staffing to support all of its functions, not just in the actual medical care, but administratively as well. Nursing homes and assisted living facilities like St. Paul Senior Services are looking for CNAs, LVNs, but also looking for social workers, dishwashers, dining services, facilities, administrative assistants. AMN Healthcare is a large healthcare staffing agency, and their main hub is up in northern San Diego, but they staff everywhere. And so they're in high demand for nurses, respiratory therapists, and all of our major hospitals and health organizations in San Diego, like Kaiser, Scripps, Sharp, and Radius, have lots of healthcare related jobs posted. Everything from, nurses, but also patient service representatives, which are more administrative in nature. And even health organizations like United Health Group and Optum are recruiting for administrative support, health advocates, customer service positions, which are indeed remote. So I'm going to throw that out there too.
So when you think about these companies, even looking on them, though it might say healthcare, there's tons of positions that are outside of the direct healthcare industry. And even with the earlier slides and all the positions or companies that you're applying for, think about the direct positions that are in the company that aren't directly seen as the forefront. There's stockers that are needed at every business. There are people, openers, cleaners. There's tons of companies that need positions that aren't shown in the forefront. And with the medical field also, in case there's any medical major students, during this pandemic, the government has actually opened up to accept students in medical fields that they don't necessarily have their license yet for or their degree in. So whether you're in nursing or MLT, or you're in different avenues to get a job within the medical area, I would say go ahead and go to the website. It's covid19.ca.gov, and you can actually get a job within your field at this time just because of the need. So go ahead and check those out for medical majors. You can see all the description of things that they're asking for, and you can apply. I've had some students apply, so go ahead as well. And then also with remote customer service. So we saw some individuals who said they wanted to work from home. When we talk about remote jobs, we're talking about working off-site, working from home, not at the major headquarters, but actually off-site. So there's tons of remote customer service jobs, whether it's data entry, whether it's filing, whether it's administrative support. There's a lot of companies who need people to be on the phones at this time, and they don't have to be at a job location to do that. They can do that from home. I have some friends that work for companies, large companies like Geico, who they're given a headset and a laptop and they're working from home. A lot of tech support positions. If you go ahead and look at some of these companies, Live Ops, Slack, Zoom, support.com, we're going to even be sharing some more. But you can look at these remote customer service positions and you can apply. If you are able to be on this conference call right now, you are most likely able to get a remote customer service job because you're able to watch the Zoom presentation at this time. So definitely don't count those out as well. And I just want to encourage you again, as we've been talking, I want you to think local. Think about the companies that are around your area. Think about the jobs that are around your home. Are there any companies that you wouldn't mind looking for? Even the next time you go to the grocery store somewhere, start looking around and say, you know what, I wouldn't mind working for this. I wouldn't mind working for this. There's a lot of local jobs hiring that we can't directly tell you because we'd be here all day for like 9 days straight, talking 24 hours trying to tell you. But think locally. Think about some of the companies around your area that you wouldn't mind working for as well. And I just want to encourage you also to leverage your talents. So some of you might have different talents or different skills that are outside of your career field. You might, be good at art or good at social media or good at different things. We want to encourage you to leverage your talents. You can do some side work at this time. If you like crafts, you can create crafts and sell them on Etsy. If you love social media and you're like, oh, I know how to do the posts, I wouldn't mind doing that for a company. There are tons of companies that are looking for people to do their social media. Why? Because they know there's people, especially students and young adults, who know how to work and
Mhm.
navigate these social media avenues and advertise to their group better than others. So they're looking to hire right now. If you love walking dogs, you can go ahead and get paid to walk dogs at this time.
Yeah, on
So
WAG.
on WAG, right? If you love sewing masks, I know you've probably seen it on television where a lot of people are sewing masks, but you can sew masks and make some money. If you like doing handy things, TaskRabbit or Thumbtack, again, look also on Facebook groups. There's tons of groups, especially at this time. There's a lot of elderly who don't want to put themselves at risk to go to stores. So you could do the shopping for that. Look at the talents. Think about, what do I like to do, or what do I have fun doing, or what can I do and make some money? This can really help those who feel like, I need to make money right now. I have some concerns. I need income a little bit quicker, and maybe I need to do some side work. So think about your talents and you can leverage them as well. And if you're good at art and graphic design, look up Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. There's you can make logos, you can make different things, and people will buy them from you.
And a lot of questions came in earlier about remote work. And so I want to share with you a few job boards that specialize in remote work. So these are 6 of some of our favorite that are highly rated. They've shown up on lots of lots of articles and blog posts around remote work. So these are 6 of our favorite. You can find lots of remote work varying from data entry, administrative support, customer service, tech support also. These are just a few. I do want to point out that even the job search sites that you guys are using already, like Indeed or Career Builder or LinkedIn, they do have filters for remote or work from home jobs. So you can even use what tools you already are using. And so I want to point that out to you. I also want to share with you onwardca.org. This is an awesome tool. It is a one-stop resource for those who have been impacted by job loss because of the pandemic. I popped on this morning and did a quick search, and it's awesome. You can, really, they have a dynamic matching system that you can put in all of your qualifications and it'll bring up the jobs that match for you. But I saw that there were, 265 or positions within my area that that I could apply for. So check it out. The other thing I really want to share with you is that the National City Chamber of Commerce is having a virtual job fair next Wednesday. And so we partner with them. You can see our logo down there at the bottom. We have partnered with them. And so they are hiring through their job fair. It's free for you to attend as a job seeker. And so I'm also going to put that link here in the chat for you all as well. So check that out. It's from 10 to 1 on April 29th. All right.
And if you've never done a virtual job fair before, it's an awesome opportunity as well, just to see what it's like. and to see how amazing it is, because in the future there's going to be a lot of more virtual job fairs as well in these next coming months. But we just want to remind you, please remember, during this time of your job search, you have this. Make sure to take care of yourself. Be consistent and be patient. Yes, times are changing. While you're applying for jobs, companies are evaluating and seeing day by day what they need to do to make their company thrive. So be patient if they don't get back to you right away. Be patient as with yourself as well. As Genesis had even mentioned earlier with her quote, sometimes we can add more stress to ourselves by thinking too much, or thinking that we're not going to get, or I haven't got a job yet. You've got this. You have everything that you need and all the skills and qualifications and access to help if you need it to get the job that you need. And even set a daily or weekly goal for yourself. Don't burn yourself out. Don't say, I got to do 30 jobs today, 30 jobs tomorrow. No, burning yourself out can really help you miss those opportunities that can come up in the future, and also can hurt you in giving off your best self as well. Remember, you're not alone. Your network is much stronger than you think. I've gotten jobs through people that were connected to me that I didn't even know of. They knew somebody that knew of me. Somebody introduced them to me. You have a strong network, so don't be afraid to ask mom, a friend, a coworker about or somebody in the field that you know, and ask them, hey, what would you suggest? Do you know of any openings, or do you know of anybody I could speak with that can help me to get a job in this area? And with Student Employment Services, our department with Southwestern College, we are here to help you and here to support you.
I also want to point out one last thing. Victor and I have been working really hard to just compile as many resources as possible. And so we have this Google Doc, and I'm going to post this in the chat right now. Give me just a second. And we're going to be frequently updating this list. So this will be this will be a living document. It's temporary, part-time, remote work during COVID-19. That came in a little weird. I'm going to share it again.
Let me put hi between it so it'll.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Now you can share.
All right. So that's the temporary part-time remote work. That's a living document as Victor and I add more resources. We've got our ear to the ground. We are happy to update that with more information as we get it. So you save that document. The other thing that I want to point out is that we're here to help. Victor and I are here to support you. So if you want to have a one-on-one conversation after this is over, feel free to shoot us an email. We are happy to connect with you and help you along in your job search, take a look at your documents to help you along the way. So if you want more personalized assistance, you have us here. And with that, we said we're going to be here for an hour. I'm sure we can hang on for 5 or 10 more minutes beyond that, Vic. Are you cool with that?
Definitely.
Awesome. So if you all want to pose your questions either in chat, feel free to do that. Or if you want to, just unmute yourself at this point in time, feel free to do that too. We definitely are here to support you and help you in this. We know that these are hard times, but we have faith in you, and we are here to support you and support each other, because that's the only way we're going to get through this is through each other and supporting each other. All right, any questions? Type them into the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself and we can go from there.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much.
I'm going to keep recording in case, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to keep recording just in case questions come up that we want to make sure we capture that will be helpful to other folks. Oh, thank you all. I'm glad you found this all really helpful. Don't be shy.
Our pleasure.
And next Tuesday, so just to give you a heads up, I haven't had a chance to put together the invitation for it just yet, but next Tuesday, same time, probably a new Zoom link, but we'll be covering our resumes, how to improve your resumes. So whether that be for right now or even for your career in the future, we'll be talking about that then. So feel free to join us next Tuesday as well. All right, we'll leave a few more minutes here in case any questions pop up. I'm glad you all found this helpful. That resource, we have had a good time, searching the internet for lots of things, and the links that we've shared with you today in the chat, they also live in that document. So hopefully you all find value in all of this. All right, so I don't see any other questions. With that, I'm going to wish you all a wonderful day. Have a great week. Vic, any last words?
Nope, we are here for you again. Jen, could you go to the last slide showing our information just one more time?
Oh, yeah.
So again, you can definitely contact us. That's our email addresses. We are here for you, and thank you so much for joining on, especially if you have a call or you said, oh, I need to speak with somebody over the phone or via video because typing is a little hard. We're definitely open for Zoom calls as well, or phone calls as well. So you can do that. If you even have any questions right now and it's like, I want to say it, go ahead.
All right, everyone. You have a great day. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.